Family Leonardo, me Nasila did on multimedia, the CEO voice of Salon. Today I come for talk to now, my family, make una continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share to our friends them. As we always try to bring for the latest news what they happen around Salon, whether it be politics or any other news them, what they happen or gossip, what they bring out to live and direct. So please, my family, don't forget to subscribe and share to our friends them. You want to touch the bell icon so that you don't miss any video we will try for bring out to now. So that's also we want make una don't forget also for subscribe to we TikTok channel on TikTok and also on Facebook or Facebook page or the Voice of Salon or also the on Instagram Voice of Salon, please family. And don't forget to share. Okay, thank you now. Tata.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وجعلنا من بين أيديه سدا ومن خلفه سدا فأحصيناهم فهم لا يبصرون ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل إن أمره يراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون إن الله والملائكة يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلم تسليما لبيك ما بعد السلام عليكم يا جماعة والمسلمين والمسلمات. Shalom to we Christian brothers and sisters both home and the diaspora. This is not the golden voice of the APC Encyclopedia, the Britannica, the socio-political analyst, the voice of the voiceless, the whistleblower, the lion of the social media, the regional publicity secretary, Southern Region, under the ticket of the mighty, indomitable All People's Congress Party. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, fellow listeners, as you know, the encyclopedia media always embark on civic education for continue for educate, inform, sensitize, conscientize, and raise awareness to we people and our daily and lovely Mama Salon on daily happenings and on burning issues. So we stay tuned, we stay fixed, we stay blessed, we stay connected to the encyclopedia media for listening pleasure is absolutely guaranteed. TGIT, ladies and gentlemen, or TGIS. Thank God today is Saturday. We're at the 29th November 2025. This is my second broadcast. Now, two presentations there I just gave for me family then and my fellow listeners then. Number one, this is a message of sympathy and condolence to we brother. Why don't you read today na the social media? Who been wait for let get a time of rest and we go offer dua for we sister we God don't take inna ilahi wa inna ilahi ra'ajiun. From there, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk about ECOWAS. And the topic of the ECOWAS has entangled itself with utmost recklessness and incompetence. That now we two topics them this evening. So we will stay connected to the encyclopedia media. Inna ilahi wa inna ilahi ra'aji'un. This is a message of sympathy and condolence. We will patiently wait for we brother, the democratic giant of the social media, where now Mr. Salon, where reside now the Republic of Ghana, for they recover from the grief we been get. For we sister, we darling sister, we God don't take, we let and but God let and pass we don't go join the ancestors then. So on behalf of the encyclopedia media, we say, Allahumma aghfir laha, takaratul jannah. May Allah forgive our sin and wish her a Jannatul Firdaus. Inna lillahi wa inna ilahi raji'un. Allahumma aghfir laha waramha wa'fiha wa'fuana wa akrim nuzilaha wa wasi mudlaha wa abdiha dakar jahannam dakar arjanna min dariha wa aklan khairan min dariha wa anla khairan min aliha wa zawzan khairan min zawziha wa adla janna wa diha min qabli kabr wa min abdan nahar. O Allah, forgive our sister and have mercy on her. Grant her safety and pardon her. Receive her with honor and make her, ladies and gentlemen, entered the entrance of a spacious grave. Wash her with water, snow, and ice, and cleanse her of her fault, as a white garment is cleansed of stain. Requite her with an abode better than her abode, with a family better than her family, and a spouse better than her spouse. Admit her into paradise and protect her from the torment of the fire, and protect her for the dangers of the kabri. Allah yarhamuma. Allah yarhamuha. May Allah have mercy on her. Khafara Allah laha. May Allah forgive her. Allahumma ajal khabriha. Let God clean for her engrave. Raudatan miriadi jannah. O Allah, make her grave a garden from the gardens of paradise. Now, all what you need, now sadaqatu jariyah, when an ongoing charity, and the recitation of the Quran for reciting specific surahs then, like Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Yasin, and Surah Al-Ikhlas. For course of time, I'm not able to recite Surah Al-Yasin, but I go recite Surah Al-Ikhlas. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow listeners, for let God key with Sister Arijana. Qul wallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid, walam yulad, walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين اللهم اغفر لها اللهم اغفر لها اللهم اغفر لها ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا جبل القبر وقنا جبل الشراط وقنا عذاب النار ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب إبراهيم إن أمره يرى شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء ولا يؤون سبحان ربك رب العزة ما يصفون والصلاة والسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم اغفر لها لقد الجنة الفداء. So we say osh to we brother. This loss, now we all lost. Now we sister, now we auntie, now in God don't take so. We are the sister of the great Mr. Salone. Let God give a Jannatul Fidaus. Then our first presentation. With second presentation, ECOWAS has entangled itself with utmost recklessness and incompetence. The phrase entangle itself with utmost recklessness and incompetence, now a descriptive clause where we often see in opinion pieces there, in political commentary or historical analysis, where we use for characterize actions there or situations there, where deem extremely poorly managed. This not to a stand-alone common idiom or specific legal term in English, but now a strong piece of rhetoric where they use for express extreme disapproval of a situation or the individual involved. Today, ECOWAS is headed by a PhD holder in coup d'etat, teaching other countries how to do coup, both electoral coup and military coup. So what do we expect from ECOWAS? ECOWAS not entangled itself with utmost failure, utmost recklessness, and incompetence. In essence, the phrase they use for emphasize a situation or a behavior were characterized by severe lack of care, skill, and judgment, recklessness, incompetence, deception, manipulation, hypocrisy, double dealing, carelessness, electoral thefts, constitutional bastardization, compromise, insecurity, malicious distortion, reckless fabrication, brutal and senseless border are the order of the day for the current ECOWAS, ladies and gentlemen, led by a PhD holder in coup d'etat and electoral coup. How the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, when a President Goodluck Jonathan undressed and naked the ECOWAS, the economic community of West African states, in a recent media interview, President Goodluck Jonathan offered a sharp critique of the ECOWAS. He states, the foundational democratic protocols of the ECOWAS don't become functionally fatigued, epileptic, and paralytic. It blatantly exposed ECOWAS their failure. Ladies and gentlemen, for the consistently and persistently and insistently not able to uphold the democratic principles, short as for ensure free, fair, credible, transparent, and competitive election, and the inability for maintain a zero tolerance policy against coup d'etat and stolen elections in the sub-region. He recalled in success as ECOWAS chairman, we will protect the constitutional will of the people of La Côte d'Ivoire, when Ivory Coast, against the tyranny of President Laurent Gbagbo. We install President Alhassan Ouattara, when the people's democratically elected president. President Goodluck Jonathan, he notes say, his successors they don't fail for exact the similar authority in recent crises, specifically the coups then in Burkina Faso, in Niger, in Mali, in Guinea, and the widely disputed June 24, 2023 multi-tier elections at the Republic of Sierra Leone. So in successors then, now Ahmed Bola Tinubu, we win a controversial election at the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the deposed president of La Guinea-Bissau, when Umaru Sissoko Embalo, when a drug trafficker and a con president, and the illegitimate president of Sierra Leone, Paupa Bio, we get a PhD in coup d'etat as the incumbent leader of the ECOWAS. So coup then go continue, because you cite example to the person where had the ECOWAS. This Nawusa ECOWAS don't entangle itself with utmost recklessness and incompetence as the adage they go. Birds of the same feathers flock together. When ECOWAS is headed by a PhD holder in coup d'etat, coup they take all over the country stand, the sub-region state, that the ECOWAS. The military coup in Guinea-Bissau, it occurred at a critical juncture where they highlight the regional body in incompetence, recklessness, failure, and inconsistent application of their own democratic principles. The current situation at Sierra Leone and Guinea-Bissau then further catapulted a democratic disaster in the sub-region, following the unscrupulous lethargy for address a political situation under the Agreement for National Unity in Sierra Leone, conduct public elections without result, thereby thwarting the constitutional will of the people of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Now, Lawyer, waiting, Goodluck Jonathan say.
What happened in Guinea-Bissau, I wouldn't call it a coup. It was not a coup. Maybe some people describe it as no, not quite. I will just say, if it is like, for want of better word, I would say maybe it was a ceremonial coup. Because for two things, it is the President Balo, that announced the coup. Before later, a military man came up to address the world that they were in charge of everywhere. Then Maada has already announced the coup, which is strange. Not only announcing the coup, but Maada, while the coup took place, was using his phone and addressing media organizations across the world that he has been arrested. I'm a Nigerian close to 70, and I know how they keep heads of states when a coup takes place. Recently, I was a mediator in Mali, an ECOWAS mediator in Mali, and within that period, we had a military coup. Military don't take over government, and the sitting president that they overthrew would be allowed to be addressing press conferences and announcing that he has been arrested. Why does this happen? Who is fooling who? Basically, what happened in Guinea-Bissau is quite disturbing to me, who believes in democracy. In fact, I feel more pained than the day I called Buhari to congratulate him when I lost the election as a sitting president. Because I've been quite particular about Guinea-Bissau. As a sitting president, then Guinea-Bissau was in crisis. Started around 2012. By 2011, we have to go physically. We worked with them and made sure that by 2014, we went 2013, elections were conducted. In fact, it was so bad the day that I learned that the military man went to the office of the prime minister and slapped the prime minister in the office. It was that bad. And what is happening is like we are going back to those dark days of Guinea-Bissau, where the military can do whatever they think they can do. It's totally not acceptable. The elections were done peacefully. We were in the field. I was a part of the West African Elders Forum. Normally, we are not co-observers, so we didn't deploy observation teams across, but we observed within Bissau, the capital, and the neighboring settlements. But during the meeting of all heads of observation missions, and they gave accounts of all the observers gave their account. Nobody gave something different. The elections were peaceful. Counting of results at the polling units peacefully done. The conduct of the electoral officials, the security, the party agents, the voters. It was a good election, and one expected the result to be announced. Then while they were collating the results, then they finished collating results. You know, results for presidential election are collated at different levels. The 9 regions, results were ready. So they were collating them at the capital. And when they were almost through, and we're all waiting for the result to be announced, then Mbello announced that that's a coup. That they have taken over, they have arrested him. But from all indications, nobody arrested him. My conviction is that, and my charge to ECOWAS and AU is that they must announce the results. They have the results because AU and ECOWAS officials were at all the regions when the results were collated. They cannot change those results. They should tally all those results and announce. They cannot force the military out, but they must announce, let the world know who won that election. Let the world know who won that election. And they owe the world that responsibility. Similar thing happened in Côte d'Ivoire when I was the chair of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS. When in 2010 we had elections in Côte d'Ivoire, Gbagbo was the sitting president. At the first round, Gbagbo got 40-something% of the votes. Ouattara got 30-something% of the vote. And their law, you must get 50% of the votes plus 1 at least. Democracy is about majority. You must get a simple majority to be the president. So they have to go for a second round. And when they went for the second round, all those other candidates that lost now supported Ouattara. And Ouattara now got more votes than Gbagbo. And Gbagbo said he was not going. That he won the election. How can somebody who had something now come and delete it? But that is a law. Then all the observers in the international community say to Ouattara won the election. Then we say, well, now you're our colleague, but you have to go. If the observers, everybody say, Ouattara won the election. Ouattara must be sworn in as the president of Cote d'Ivoire. I stood my ground as the chair of the authority of heads of state and government of ECOWAS, and Ouattara was sworn in. So, the leadership of ECOWAS, luckily, Maada was a former military man himself, so he should be courageous. The leadership of AU, they must be courageous. They must announce who won that election. I'm not saying they should mobilize soldiers to go and fight, no need to shed blood, but we must know. Because the results are there, they have the results. The AU, ECOWAS, they have the results. So there's cannot be playing pranks. Nobody should call others fools. There's no way they remove a military coup. Military coup at the time they want to announce the result. How? And the president was the person who announced the coup. It doesn't happen anywhere. Well, people are too young, so they didn't know what used to happen in Nigeria. We're a country that witnessed series of coups before. So it doesn't happen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good luck, Jonathan, for exposing ECOWAS, a con association. Umaru Sissoko Embalo na a con president, where Canada on August 10, disaster, where they kill citizens then, where Canada Maada can support. Because Maada don't teach and forget PhD in coup d'etat. Your situation will be clear because you've been democratically elected, but with that thief election, I had ECOWAS to today. So I stolen election, they know they happen. They don't vote, no, they don't call it results, they all. Because Umaru Sissoko Embalo, he knows he don't lose. Now he make it announce, say, there is a coup. And they talk to all people then at the wall. Say they don't arrest her. Where they don't arrest her. He call his soldier, they overthrow. That this same thing Maada be one do na saloon. But a non-starter. For them trial, we go endorse them for them. And simultaneously accepting for reverse the coup na Guinea-Bissau. President Goodluck Jonathan draw an analogy between the two nations then. Suggesting just as the international community election observer mission there in Guinea-Bissau, then possess the official election results, therefore eventually announce and declare the winner. The moral guarantors of the agreement for national unity in Sierra Leone go similarly utilize the result held by the international observers, short as the European Union, for determining the true winner of the Sierra Leone June 24, 2023 presidential election. The analysis alongside the statistical data provided by the APC of 71% of RF forms, where gives Excellency Dr. Samura Kamara a commanding lead of 57.15% in accordance with the Sierra Leone 1991 National Constitution. President Goodluck Jonathan further indicates the event in Guinea-Bissau, perhaps not a conventional coup, but an orchestrated coup for military took over because the incumbent Umaru Sissoko Embalo Sisi he don't lost the election woefully. So election of president in section 42 subsection 2 paragraph E, according to WIO 1991 constitution, they say no person shall be elected as president of Sierra Leone unless at the presidential election he has polled not less than 55% of the valid votes in his favor. The tripartite 71% RF forms, say Dr. Samura Ge, 57.15%. The European Union election observer mission, the RF forms the winner 96%, say Dr. Samura Kamara poll 58.3%. The same thing will for happen at Guinea-Bissau, and for happen at Masalone. So anybody or group or entity or institution, organization or others will go against this when are liable for treason. This is boldly written in the law books then, vis-a-vis with 1991 Constitution in section 108 subsection 8 about the alteration of the Constitution. The Constitution states the threshold for let somebody become the democratically and constitutionally elected president of Sierra Leone, where the threshold now 55%. Dr. Samura Kamara claimed over that. Section 108 subsection 8 reads, Any suspension, alteration, or repeal of this constitution, other than on the authority of parliament, shall be deemed to be an act of treason. The 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone gave the power to the citizens for elect their representative without intimidation, coercion, or brutality. Chapter 2 talk about the fundamental principles of state policy with the government and the people. Section 5, subsection 1 say, the Republic of Sierra Leone shall be a state based on the principles of freedom, democracy, and justice. Today, they sell out APC leadership and brown envelope APC MPC. They don't know what in electoral justice. But when I go holla, fine, they not call una. While section 5, subsection 1, it put emphasis for Sierra Leone for be a state based on the principles of democracy and a democratic state. Pray for based on freedom, democracy, and justice. Now we vote in with democracy over 3 years, no election result. Is this what you call democracy? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the way this all the bastardized with national constitution, conduct election in a democratic state over 2 years without election result. Section 5, subsection 2, paragraph A, it gave the power to the people of Sierra Leone as how the 16th president of the United States of America, Abraham Lincoln, defined democracy, where rule America from 1861 to 1865, say democracy and the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The same thing there that we constitution. Now, section 5, subsection 2, paragraph A, we say, it is accordingly declared that sovereignty belongs to the people of Sierra Leone, from whom government, through this constitution, derives all its powers, authority, and legitimacy. Ladies and gentlemen, today on patriotic political bootlickers, party surrogates, corrupt media entities, tribalistic and exploitative civil society organizations, brown envelope state actors, they don't politicize and tribalize all the independent state democratic institutions then in supporting something way undemocratic, something way unconstitutional, and something way treasonous, because then they benefit from the rogue and the nasty system. They go against the national constitution. But one for law, we all remember, say, then tell we say, nemo e supra legis. Nemo e supra legis, no one is above the laws. For the national constitution reigns supreme. This legal maxim is signify the principles of the rule of law, where assert say the law for apply equally to everybody, including government officials and citizens. Nemo judes in causa sua. This is a fundamental legal principle, meaning say no one is charged in his own case. Today, we use favoritism, we use conflict of interest, we use party loyalty, but the truth will come out one day. But today, we don't become biased, selfish, tribalistic, regionalistic, deceptive, favoritic, partisan, myopic, mentally constipated, luciferious, and narrow-minded for support the rule of man than supporting the rule of law because of personal aggrandizement and self-egoism, because of cronyism, and because of political patronage. Ladies and gentlemen, then they with all evil slangs there, pauper, ebema, bedibedimia, moalelemia, kukujumuku, party time. We don't go hand over power to mad people, but we now remember the Mende Aje. Waiting the Mende Aje say, they say, Dola et tabu game. Meaning, dull baby no they ever eat tobacco or snuff. Now, here are the big question. Why a country they need forget national constitution? Any country need forget a national constitution for establish the fundamental rules of the government. It define and limits the power of government and protect the rights and freedoms of the citizen. Constitution, they provide a blueprint for governance and for ensure the rule of law and serve as a fundamental or a foundational document where they reflect a nation in value and adapt over time. The Constitution, they prevent the government from acting arbitrarily and safeguard minority rights. This is not the reason why country then they get constitution. And the Constitution, they provide a legal framework for enforced rights there and promotes justice and equality in any nation. Today we get a pauper state Luther's Kamajo junta regime where they rule the country outside the national constitution by the rule of man instead of the rule of law. Constitution na a blueprint for governance. What does this mean to we listeners then? Constitution, they set up the structure of the government, where include the branches then where they outline all the powers and limits of the three branches of government, plus four one are the media. We get the executive, the legislative, the judiciary, and the fourth estate. The Constitution, they establish the process system, how the government they make and implement policy system. The Constitution, they provide a framework for the political community and prevent the government from abusing its authority. The Constitution, they safeguard rights there and equality. How this they happen? The Constitution, they contain provisions then where they protect individual the rights and liberties. And the Constitution, they act as a shield. How the Constitution, they act as a shield? They act as a shield against discrimination. The Constitution, they ensure say all individuals then they are treated with dignity and get equal rights regardless of their identity. The legal enforcement of their rights they are, they hold the government accountable and combat discrimination. The Constitution, they promote stability and justice in a country. What did this mean to we listeners then? Constitution, they promote the rule of law, meaning that everybody, including the one that way they empower, therefore subject to the law. The Constitution, they provide a foundation for creating an effective government and a stable political community. The Constitution, they also be a tool for reconciliation and inclusion during times of transition or conflict. The Constitution, na a document for change or amendment. A Constitution, not a static document. It contains mechanisms there for amendments. It allow let the Constitution evolve over time. So this flexibility, it ensures the Constitution remain relevant and go adapt to new challenges and reflect social progress. So the Constitution is an essential tool for self-government. Now a rule book where they describe how a nation for be governed. Now the fundamental law of a nation, the supreme law of the land. The Constitution, now a political instrument, and the Constitution, they prescribe a country in decision-making institutions them. And Constitution, they identify the supreme power. Constitutions them, now the fundamental building blocks of a nation's government and laws. Are short, then they play an important role for established values and rights them. This now why a nation need a constitution. But today, we know the contrary. The four benefits of a country and the citizen forget a constitution. Number one, we need a constitution for protect individuals' rights. Number two, we need a constitution for establish a framework for governance, uphold the rule of law, provide stability. Number three, we need a constitution for promote citizen participation in the governance of the state. And number four, we need a constitution for safeguard against tyranny. This guarantee with a fundamental freedom, we outline the structures of the government and ensure we get transparency and accountability. How does the constitution help we as a country? The Constitution, they guarantee every Sierra Leonean citizen in fundamental right and protection of life, liberty, and property. But today, we dey on the contrary. The Constitution, they help we set a system of checks and balances where they ensure, say, nobody or no branch get too much power. But today, we get a PhD holder in coup d'etat. We don't capture all the branches of government. And the two functions of the national constitution, number one, the constitution, they give a guarantee of the rights of the citizen. Number two, the constitution, they make out different spheres of power from different branches of government. Today, we get the NPRC junta, Kamajo Pauper, brutal military decrees instead of the 1991 constitution.